G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. But yes, you are here today because finally, Rugby Australia is doing something that is, in my books, considered right for the sport of rugby, in the best interest of rugby, and that is they are negotiating, talking with the stubborn Northerners about a potential tiebreaker should the series be going to, should the series go into a draw by the third test. And there will be a golden point, extra time. That is the same rules as being played as Super Rugby. So we won't end up in a situation like this one. Oh, awful. Where Kieran Reid, the greatest All Black of all time, had to share a trophy with this Welsh dude, Sam Warburton. Oh, how disgraceful. How awful. I mean, it's a loss in the books of the All Blacks, okay? This photo shit's already in itself a national disgrace in New Zealand. And so yeah, just to make sure that doesn't happen in Australia, there will be a tiebreaker if if there was one test, one draw going to third test, and the third test end up in equal points. They would just continue playing for an extra 10 minutes for golden point, I guess, and just keep playing until the game is finally resolved and someone scores a point, and that'll be, that's the rest. I think that's a really good idea, and yeah, so. That is something I think is moving towards the right direction, even though it's not going to happen because Australia's going to win the series before the third test anyway. But hey, it'll be fun for the textbooks. But the main thing that I really like is that Rugby Australia is finally thinking about what it's like to be a fan watching these sort of things and really try to break some of those old traditional stubborn ideas that can't play with 20-minute red card sort of thing. I think it's really good, moving toward the right direction, and that is what I wanted to see from Rugby Australia. So we'll see if this is going to happen, and hopefully it will, because it is really important. And speaking of next bit, the Anzac team that is going to be coached by Les Kiss, they have announced the full complement of coaches that'll be coaching this team. Obviously, Mr. Sir Ian Foster has already been announced as the assistant coach, and then two more has been announced: Simon Cron and Zane Hilton. Simon Cron from the Western Force and Zane Hilton from the Reds will be also working alongside the two international test coaches for this one. Speaking of the Lions tour, Owen Farrell, there's some talks about him potentially getting an extra ticket to fly, sitting next to his daddy, coming to Australia for a bit of tour. There's still 2 seats available for the Lions selection. One of them people were thinking potentially given for, saved up for Owen. And the other one, who knows, maybe Johnny Sexton, right? At this rate. But hey, there's actually some news come out that Owen is wanting to end his contract at Racing 92. He's signed till the end of next season, but he's talking about his expressed interest to go back to Saracens and leave early, sort of thing. So there's a bit of a talk there. And just hasn't really delivered at Racing 92 either. So had a pretty poor season. And, he wants to return to Saracens in a special player coach role where he gets to play and coach at the same time, and potentially shifting from play into a coaching role after he's done and follow his dad's career. And also, Hugh Jones had a bit of injury. He's a potential star for the Lions tour at the moment. The outside centre from Scotland, Achilles problem, and basically it's revealed from the coaching stuff that he's gonna have to manage an Achilles problem for the rest of his career. So yeah, it's when you have these sort of problems, you might have to take a long time off, or you just have to keep managing it. It's just the way it is, which means he's not gonna be 100% at the Lions tour, which is good news for us. More good news for the Wallabies, and that is not a seal. This I was really worried about because I thought he might end his career. He kind of got cleaned out in Iraq and folded like this, and looked like he may have broken his back potentially. He was on the ground holding his back, not moving much. Turned out he's okay. Maybe just a strain on the back, but he looked pretty bad at the time. He looked like he was taken off on a stretcher. He didn't move. And yeah, maybe I thought he was maybe he had a broken back or something, but he's okay. He's going to be back to playing this weekend against the Crusaders. So that's really good. Not only is back healthy, but he's back playing, which is a really, really, really good sign. Speaking of, things, we got some bad news here. So there's a viral little sport that goes on in New Zealand where people run into each other. One guy carrying the ball, one guy going for tackle, and they just collide. You probably seen it on YouTube and stuff where people just kind of run into each other and then get absolutely drilled like that. Someone died playing this. So yeah, it's not a good look. I think this might have some ramifications towards rugby. When I first saw this, I thought this was pretty stupid, to be honest. Like, you don't actually do that in rugby, because you wouldn't run full speed into a tackler, wouldn't run full speed into a ball carrier. They usually slow down and try to do the dancing feet and then try to make the tackle in case they get stepped. Whereas this one, there's no concept of going around a person. You literally run into each other at full speed. It's literally like, in fact, if you told me, would you run into a brick wall? That'll be safer. Running into a brick wall will be safer than this, because you have the energy of two moving bodies colliding with each other. Whereas when you run the brick wall, the wall actually doesn't move. You're just going, it's only the energy that you're generating run into the wall. Whereas this one, you have an opposing energy. And like, seriously, the amount of energy you get in this sort of things could potentially be a car crash level of damage to somebody. And I'm not surprised that somebody actually lost their lives playing this sort of thing. I think is quite a little bit stupid, to be honest. But hey, that's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. And I just hope that this doesn't come back and somehow get rugby, oh, we can't tackle anymore in rugby or stuff like that. Because that'll be really, really unfortunate, and getting involved in lawsuits like that, get dragged into lawsuits for rugby as well, because it's actually not the same. It's actually not the same as rugby, despite the fact that these guys are holding the ball. You actually don't do that at all in rugby. Now, there's a little bit of controversy. I don't usually talk about this sort of stuff, but there's a bit of a trick play on the week. One of the New Zealand, I think it was a New Zealand school, and basically they faked a penalty kick, and then they kicked the ball on the side for a try. And there was some talks about whether this was try or not. And Nigel Owens basically said that this should not be a try, even though the referee at the time giving it a try said this should not be a try, because the law book actually said if a team indicates to the referee intention to kick a goal, they must kick at goal. Their intention can be communicated or whatever, right? So if you told the referee you're going to kick a goal, you must kick a goal. So you can't just, do what he did there, passing the ball to a player for a crossfield kick for a try sort of thing. So there was another incident where Johnny Wilkinson actually did this, where there was penalty given and he crossfield kicked it, and then for leading into a try at the World Cup. But in that situation, Johnny Wilkinson never indicated that he was going to kick a goal. He just played on, essentially took a quick tap. But in this occasion, they actually indicated they're going to kick a goal. But then I think that the question here is that, did they actually make a genuine attempt at the goal? He put it on the tee, and he kicked the ball. He didn't throw the ball. He didn't pick the ball up and crossfield kicked it. He kicked the ball off the tee. I think that is a genuine attempt at the goal. And the fact that the ball rolled on the ground and it doesn't really matter, because he made I think that is a genuine. I think Nigel Owen is wrong here. That is a genuine attempt at goal. Whereas he cannot do what Johnny Wilkinson did, where he said, tell the referee, oh, we're going to kick a goal, and then quickly take a crossfield kick. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. Should not. In that situation, Nigel Owens would be right. But in this situation, I think that's, putting the ball on the tee and kicking the ball off the tee will be considered a genuine attempt at a goal. And I think that Nigel Owens' interpretation there is I think is correct here. Anyway, moving on. The Champions Cup final ended with the Bordeaux Begles, right? The Begles won this match 28 points to 20. No points were scored by the Saints. The Saints from England. No points were scored, and in the second half for them. And I thought this could have been a bigger score for Bordeaux, and it's pretty one-sided. The speed from the wingers, just outstanding. Both Bielbieri and Damien Penaud. Penaud is just such a good form right now, and I'm worried that I'm a little bit sweating for the All Blacks, because if Penaud and Bielbieri shows up, it's gonna be. Oh, and also Jalibert was really, really, really good as well, showing some incredible feet. And just speed. The speed that was on the field really took me by a bit of a surprise watching this game, and the Saints just couldn't keep up, leading to a 28 points 20 win. And then the drama happened after the game. A lot of people were doing this sort of poses after the game, because the Henry Pollock had a bit of a scuffle, and he got like kind of like pushed on the throat. And Pollock was complaining about it, like the camera showed him like indicating like this to the referee. And sure enough, the person that did the push, Jefferson Pirrett, was cited and banned for 2 weeks for the push on the neck. So yeah, then this was after the whistle, after the game had all finished and everyone was celebrating. It still got banned for the push on the throat. Yet in Super Rugby, right? In Super Rugby, there was a bit of a push and shoving happened in the weekend between the Western Force and the Waratahs, and you can see that this player actually did it. Just watch him. He actually threw a punch on his right hand here. Watch. Here we go. Boom. He actually threw a punch there. And then the Stan Sports commentary, Morgan Tuanui was. I'm surprised. I didn't see this during the live game, but they're all surprised that this wasn't cited afterwards as well. So yeah, again, a bit of Super Rugby referees. We'll talk about it every weekend. Has been a bit lacking, to be honest. Sam Underhill as well. He received a yellow card in the champions, like the losers bracket, you call it, the finals, and he received a citing after the game for a 4-week ban on a dangerous tackle. It was initially Holly Davison, the referee, gave him a yellow card, and then it was initially afterwards they decided him and decided there was actually a red card worthy, and gave him a 4-week ban. And this, they don't use 20-minute red cards. They could have probably made that right decision if they had given the 20-minute red card and let the bunker make the decision. But yeah, it is what it is. Still very, very backwards. The Northern Hemisphere, the Champions Cup, the way they organize these sort of things. So also on the weekend, the Waratahs won a golden point game against the Western Force. The one thing that I thought was just the most noteworthy is that there was a point where Curdy Beale could have attempted a 50-meter penalty during golden point period. We all remember Curly slipping on his kick in the Lions tour. And last time the Lions tour was here, 2013, and the is it 2013 or 2011? 2013, yeah, 2013. 2014? Anyway, last time the Lions tour was here, so Curly Beale, he did like the kick and he like slipped. So it was a 50-meter kick and he's kind of just returned from injury. I really want to see it. And it was shut down by this rookie. Henry Robinson told him that he was going to take the kick instead, and he missed and fell short. And I was very disappointed. Yeah, that's probably the main thing. This guy's rookie. He's only got like two caps overall. And Curly was going to told Curly to go away, and he was going to take it. But yeah, it was really bizarre to see that a rookie overrules a veteran's decision to take the kick. But it is what it is. The Western Force lost that one because of, I guess, their own stupid decision. Donaldson wasn't kicking because he actually hurt his leg. Otherwise, Donaldson probably would have taken the kick. But anyway, moving on. Xavier Reese actually broken the try scoring record from Israel Folau on the weekend. So finally, he's the #1 try scorer in Super Rugby. So congratulations, Mr. Reese. And then we got Donaldson signing a contract with the Western Force and with the Wallabies till 2027. Also, that Carlo Tazzano also signed till 2027 as well and staying in with the Western Force. In New Zealand, this guy, Ratamai Vuki Nipkins, signs with the Highlanders for, till 2028. Also, Caleb Tangitau signed as well, but Ratamai Vuki Nipkins is actually a really outstanding player. Quite a big signing there. Duplessis Karifi as well decided to sign to Rugby World Cup with New Zealand, and turning down a opportunity to play in an unnamed club, a juicy deal from an unnamed club. So again, he's a prospect for the All Blacks as well. Jeffrey Tumanga Allen signs with the Reds for another extension alongside with Josh Fluke and Xavier Reese to stay at the Reds. Patrick Tuipulotu signs with the All Blacks extension for another 3 years. And then we've got James Slipper signing another extension, extending that, record-breaking career till 2026 for another year. I've got Highlanders signing the Timothy Tavatavanawa and Fabian Holland Tava to 2027, Fabian Holland to 2028. A lot of people think that Fabian Holland deserving a All Blacks shot. I think Holland needs to play for the Crusaders, to be honest. I just think that, I think he's really not. I just think that the Highlanders isn't the one of the top teams in New Zealand, and I think he needs to play amongst the big dogs to really see whether or not he stands out. I think this, maybe I'm biased, but I think that he seems to be, he looks good for the Highlanders, because I think, no disrespect, but I think his teammates aren't quite at the same level as him, which made him look a bit better. That's my opinion. I think he needs to be thrown into the big dogs like the Crusaders to really get a feel whether or not he can work. Anyway, that's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Robbie Henshaw got a bit of injury, knee injury, and is out for the rest of the season. He wasn't selected for Lions tour anyway, but he could have been one of the players, out of one of two players getting into the playing, coming here to Australia next to Owen Farrell. Warren Gatland has signed a role with as advisory role to a Uruguay club called Penaro, a short-term advisory role. I mean, come on, surely, how much money can he make there? There's no way he's there for rugby. There's no way he's in Uruguay at Penaro to work as a rugby job. Okay, no way, Mr. Gatland. No way. Anyway, moving on. And finally, congratulations to Eggchasers Rugby on YouTube. He's secured a broadcasting deal with the French second division, the D2, to air the D2 on YouTube. I actually wanted to watch the D2 because I've got a mate that plays in the D2 division. I actually looked up, and it's like just not really viable for me to try to get a deal in France. So yeah, I was so it's really good that he has a deal, and good on him. So that's something that I might actually tune in to check out my friend play. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. That's the news for the week. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on any of these articles, and have a good one. I'll see you guys this weekend for more reviews, and have a good weekend. Cheers.